Hola, clase. ¿Cómo están? Excelente. And welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson is for my A students and my Spanish 2 Learn from Home students. Everybody else I will either see in class or on live stream today. Okay? Or anybody who couldn't make it. I get it. All right. So, first things first, let's start with the warm up. Okay? So, here is today's warm up. All right. So, this is some little Spanish 1 stuff for you. I want you to respond to the following in Espanol. Okay? So have your paper ready. Go ahead and pause the video now. Okay. So if somebody says, ¿Cómo estás? There's a lot of things you could say. You could say, muy bien. If you're not doing so well, you could say, mal. You could say, más o menos. Or maybe, regular. If you're sick, enfermo. All right, if somebody says, ¿De dónde eres? They're asking, where are you from? So you say, let's put it down here. You say, soy de Georgia, or wherever you're from. If somebody says, ¿Cómo te llamas? What's your name? You say, Me llamo Pedro. And it's not Me llamo es, it's Me llamo Pedro. Alternatively, you could say Pedro, or you could say something like, Yo soy Pedro, or just soy Pedro. I am Pedro. Okay. If somebody says mucho gusto, that means nice to meet you. So you can say it back, mucho gusto. You can say encantado, or if you're a girl, encantada, or something like el gusto es mío. Oops, el gusto es mío. The pleasure is mine. Or another good thing is you can say igualmente. There's a lot of good ways, so that means like same to you, likewise. All right, what does it mean if somebody says nos vemos? Nos vemos means goodbye. So you say it back, nos vemos. You could say adios. You could say hasta luego, etc. If you don't know this one, this is a good one to know. Nos vemos is like saying see ya, see you later. Nos vemos. Extremely common among Spanish speakers. That's why I always teach it. All right, this one says, ¿Dónde comes los sábados? Which, if you break it down, says, where do you eat on Saturdays? Okay, so you could say something like, oh, sorry, it's the end of the day again. You could say, like, a really full sentence would be like, Yo como en McDonald's. Okay, where do you eat? I eat at McDonald's. Or simply, in McDonald's. I suppose that would be fine. Okay, ¿Tienes animales? Is a question that simply says, do you have animals? So you could say, sí, tengo un perro. Or you could say something like, no, no tengo nada. Nope, I don't have anything. Or something. If you want to be really nice, you could say like, no los tengo. I don't have them. Okay, and we'll learn all that later. All right, awesome. Okay, so quickly, let me make sure we're still recording. We're all good. Yes, everything looks good. Awesome. Great. Okay, so let's quickly look back over your alphabet. All right, we can say them together. A, B, C, Ch, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, Y, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And I must say, I was most impressed with how well everyone knew your letters. I really was. I was delighted. So good job to all of you. And if you don't know them all, just practice. It's no big deal. So let's see. Next for you guys, for the at-home crew today. All right, we're going to take some notes. So go ahead. Saquen papel. Okay, these notes are important because this is going to set you up for pronouncing things correctly. Okay? So here you can see we got some slides to get to. It's not going to be as bad as it seems. I'll be here the whole way with you. All right, let's get started. All right, so you can pause if you need to once you get everything ready. Okay? All right, first one. So this is all about pronunciation. And again, if I go too fast, all you have to do is pause and rewind, okay? If we were in class, as you know, I would stop for you. All right. And again, these are your notes. So I'm going to put some trust in you and say copy what you need. If you don't need this, you don't have to copy it, but make sure either way that you know it. All right, so the vowels, A, E, I, O, U. The good, I'm so sorry guys, I'm tired. The good thing about Spanish, English has 15 to 20 different vowel sounds. Spanish has 5. Every single time you see the letter A, it will go A. In English, you have a hard A, like in the word breaks or rake, and a soft A, like almond, etc. Okay, and that goes for all of these. But in Spanish, an A always goes A, an E always goes E, a letter I always goes I, O is O, and U is U. All right, so repeat after me. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. They will always make that sound. I gotta start recording these things in the morning. They will always make that sound. Okay. All right. B and V. B and V are pretty much identical in sound. It's a very soft and small B sound. Okay. For example, look down here. This word is not vaso. That sound hardly exists in Spanish. They don't go like vacuum. They say vaso. Your lips kind of touch, but just a little bit. All right, so repeat after me. Baño, bella, boca, vaso, vinagre, vender. Okay, C and G. This is a lot to copy. The good news, you don't have to copy it because the worksheet that you will get today on Google Classroom has this on it. Okay, but we might as well go over it together. All right, so this is a CA goes ca as in casa. A CE goes se as in cero. A CI goes si as in circo. CO goes co as in coco. CU goes cu as in cubo. A GA goes ga as in gato. A GE goes he as in Jerónimo. GI goes he as in gimnasio. GO goes go as in gol. And GU goes gu as in gusta. Okay, so it's ka se si koku ga he hi gogu. H. Never, 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 never pronounce an H in Spanish. No, this word is hola. It is not hola. So we have hola, helado, and this one almohada. Okay, the H is there, but you don't pronounce it. At the most, it's like a little extra puff of air in your mouth, but you don't say it. Okay, the J, we'll call today's lesson Sleepy Spanish. The letter J makes an H sound. All right, so repeat after me. There's actually 2 syllables in this name. In English, we say Julio, but it's actually this. Repeat after me. Julio, Julio, Julio. Jalapeño, Jota. K and W are very rare in Spanish. These sounds are usually made by other letters. But here are some examples you will see. Usually mathematical things like these two. Kilómetro, kilograma, kayak. And here's some W ones. Waffle, watt, webcam. And these all 3 of those come from other languages to give you an idea of how little Spanish uses that. In Spanish, to make a k sound, they typically use a qu, like quiero or quien, and the w sound is made with the gu, like uh, like the sound that a dog makes. The sound that a dog makes in Spanish is wow, 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 wow. G-U-A-U. Wow. Okay, this one everyone knows pretty much. L goes L, and two L's go Y, just like a Y. Okay, so we have león, lavar, llegar, llamar. So there are different dialects, different accents in Spanish. So whereas we say llegar, someone from Puerto Rico or parts of Spain would say llegar. Hola, me llamo Señor Coward, voy a llegar y llamar a mi mamá. Very common in the Spanish speaking world. And to a lesser degree, like in the south of Spain, some people even say llegar, llamar. But that's like very regional. N versus ñe. An N goes N, and an ñe goes ña. Okay, so nena, nombre, baño, cariño, ña. Like English, Q will always include a U. A QU, like I said, goes k. Quiero, que, quien. R and RR. Sounds like Mr. Krabs. R, 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 R. If an R starts a word, if it's the first letter, it makes a little R sound, okay? Such as regalo, roto. You don't go too crazy. It's not like regalo, but it's just tengo un regalo para ti. Mi carro está roto, roto. Otherwise, one R just makes a little D. It's almost like a D, okay? So, see if you can say it like I do. Lugar. This one is a little easier. Para. Pretend it's a D. Say it like a D. Para. And madre. Madre. And of course, two R's go R, like perro and carro. X has the same sound as it does in English for most words. Éxito, excelente. It can also have the same sound as a J and make an H sound. These are very old words, especially words like Mexico, Texas. Okay, that's how you say those in Spanish. A Y makes the same sound as in English, so yerba, yarda, yak. And a Z goes S, zapato, azul, seta. Okay, now, out of all of that, that's up to you to write down. If I were you, go back through this presentation if you need to and make note of anything that you don't already remember. Now, this page, I really want you to copy because it's just really valuable. Okay, so at any time, pause it while I'm talking and write this down. Stress of a word. The stress of a word naturally falls on the next to last syllable. All right, so like this. Calculadora, perro, escuela. Whatever the next to last syllable is. There's nothing funny going on. There's no accent marks. So it normally sounds like this. Calculadora, perro, escuela. So there's a little, one syllable has to be the loudest. It kind of anchors it. If the word, this is the most important one kind of. If the word does not end with a vowel, N or S, then the stress falls on the last syllable. Okay? So it doesn't end with a vowel, A-E-I-O-U. It doesn't end with N, and it doesn't end with S. Then it's all the way on the last of the word. That's why we say these words, profesor, español, estoy. Profesor, español, estoy. Now, once you stick with Spanish long enough, especially as long as I have, these things will fall into place. You'll just say them right. You'll just know it's right. I even had to look this up because I just say them right, and I wanted to make sure to be able to teach y'all the correct one. Now, all of these rules can be avoided if you use an accent mark. If you see an accent mark, that letter, that syllable becomes louder. It gets all of the stress, all the emphasis, okay? So repeat after me. Lápiz, instantáneo, último. Okay, no question. It's like a free answer. That's the one you circle. Accent marks, bang, solved. And that's what I want you to do. So you'll know that when you see a word like that. So you don't say it wrong. Like this one, you want to say último instead of like último or último. It just starts to sound wrong. All right, so make sure you have this page copied. You'll need it. All right, let's see how to pronounce these words. You can pause this right now if you want to. Otherwise, I'm going to just say them. Perro, azul, revista, Jalisco, Jerónimo, bolígrafo, Cádiz, guía, Quito, llama, helado, año. And we made it. Made it through the presentation. Let's see where our time is. All right, we're at 16 minutes. I'm going to try not to take up too much more of your time. So that was a big thing, getting our notes there. Okay. Now this one. Okay. Here's a little practice. You don't have to copy this whole thing down. This is we're going to be doing this in class, of course, with the other classes. So look at each one, and I want you to make some notification. You can write it, you can copy it down and circle it. It doesn't matter to me. But I've broken each word into syllables, and I want you to tell me which one gets the stress. So use that page I said to copy down, okay? All right, go ahead, pause this for a minute. It's not going to take long. Pause it and try this now. All right, this first word, the answer is mi, amigos. Okay? Second one is árbitro. This one, americanos. Ca, next to last. This one is bel, cascabel. Okay? Calculadora, calculadora. This one, easy, free answer, sábado. Another free answer, japonés. And vendedor. Whoops. I missed vendedor. Okay, so this one ends with an R, and this one ends with an L. So that's why those two got the emphasis. Cascabel, vendedor. All right, so let's keep moving. So the next thing is this is going to be posted on Google Classroom, and it is this. It's a little front and back sheet, and it's something that I want y'all to do and turn in. Actually, let's do this. Has some interactive parts, like I have to actually say these things out loud. So let's do this. I still want to post it, but you can still. So here's what's on this sheet. At the top, these are your notes on C and G, the ones from the presentation. Little hints and tips as to how these things are pronounced, like two R's go r, perro, corren. Down here, you can just do this on your own. Try to pronounce these words. I put two crazy ones in here for you, two really long words. This part you can leave blank because I'm going to say those out loud. This part, circle the stressed syllable. And you can leave these blank because I have to say this. And at the bottom, well, let me make sure I'm not skipping anything. Okay, we're almost done. Y'all are doing great. I appreciate it. At the bottom, it says, do a web search for a short Spanish poem or Spanish sayings. I'm going to say, yeah, Spanish sayings. That's fine. Be ready to read it out loud as best as you can. You can write it below or save it on your phone or somewhere else. For y'all, I do want you to write it down, okay? Because people in class, we may have time, maybe, to get to this. But I do want you to write. It could be like a 2-line poem. It could be a 1-line saying. The whole point is it's something authentic that I want you to be able to say in Spanish, all right? Now, the very last thing, I want to show you just how, speaking of poems, just how pretty Spanish could be. This is one of my favorite Spanish poems. It's called Meciendo, which means rocking, like rocking back and forth. And this lady is the one who wrote it, Gabriela Mistral. All right, so here's what it sounds like. And it does rhyme in Spanish. El mar sus millares de olas, mece divino. Oyendo a los mares amantes, meso a mi niño. El viento errabundo en la noche, mece los trigos. Oyendo a los vientos amantes, meso a mi niño. Dios Padre sus miles de mundos, mece sin ruido. Sintiendo su mano en la sombra, meso a mi niño. And what that means, if you'd like to know, the sea, its thousands of waves, he rocks divine. Hearing the loving seas, I rock my child. The wandering wind in the night rocks the wheat. Hearing the loving winds, I rock my child. Father God, his thousands of worlds, he rocks without sound. Feeling his hand in the darkness, or in the shade, I rock my child. So it's just a really pretty, just a very, this kind of rocking back and forth motion. The sea, the wind, the wheat, and then of course the child who's rocking. So things like this can be very beautiful. They're kind of revealed to you as you understand them. Okay, so let me go back to me. All right, so that was today's lesson. So check out um, the worksheet on Google Classroom and do that. And again, for now, just bring it with you. This isn't something that we have to worry about turning in, but I do want you to do it. Do those sections I told you and bring it to class, okay? All right, I will see you tomorrow. Adios.